With our increased water storage volume, the old seat with the bucket has got to go. We got to move on from this. So I have a real commode, and I have a very small space to put it, but it does fit. So I got the hole marked out for the toilet flange for the big pipe. I'm going to go start the generator, bring the jigsaw in and cut it. Cross my fingers. Hope I get it right. Yeah, it's kind of tight. It's going to be kind of tight in here, but we kind of knew that. Having a little trouble here. I hit a joist, which is no big deal, but I can't, the saw won't turn sharp enough. The back end hits the wall, so I'm having trouble cutting through it. And I wish I'd have brought my Sawzall. I think I have a handsaw outside. Let me go see. Maybe I can cut it. If not, I can get the chainsaw in there and smoke up the teeny house, but I'd rather not do that. So working from the top and the bottom, and dealing with a bent blade, and it's the only one I have. We got it. We fumbled through this mess. It looks like somebody gnawed the boards off with their teeth, but so be it. The pipe will go through the hole, and that's the important thing. And I didn't even have to start the chainsaw. Now I see my light flickering here, and it didn't do that when I was working, so this must be some sort of deal with the camera strobing, making the light flicker. This is kind of interesting, but I don't know why it's doing that. Well, I did it. Not very pretty. But between the hammer and the chisel, this little dull saw, and a jigsaw, we got the hole. And if I drop the flange in there, it's centered. So we're good. I need to go underneath now and start thinking about how to plumb it into the holding tank. So this is a 3-inch or a 4-inch flange. 3-inch pipe fits on the inside, which I would rather have used, but they didn't have any. 4-inch, I had some 4-inch pipe, so I just had to buy some fittings. It's not a very tight fit, but it's kind of like a funnel, so it really can't leak. So this goes in the hole. We got to go underneath, and hopefully the 245s I have will make it into the holding tank, the black tank. I held up my 245s, one on near the tank and one sticking in the right spot, and kind of guessed at the length because it's really hard to get that right, and I got it right first time, and I wasn't really worried about it because I have a whole 8 foot of pipe left. Could have done it a couple of times. So it goes right here. Drill a couple of holes. I'm gonna take the jigsaw and cut the circle, and we'll let a small piece of pipe stick into the tank, and heck, I'll be ready to start gluing pipe pretty soon. Put a little mastic around the toilet flange to keep the ants and stuff out, and I'm getting ready to screw the flange down, and I'm not able to glue the pipe to here from up here because I can't hold it up, so I'm gonna have to go ahead and screw this down, go downstairs and take it back out and put some glue, the glue on the inside, and shove it back up in there. And like, it doesn't have to not leak because this much of the pipe is sticking inside that pipe, but it has to not fall down, so I need to get a decent glue job on it. Okay, I'm gonna screw this thing down, maybe forever and ever, who knows. Got the flange bolts set, and I got them kind of stuck in place with this mastic because it's kind of hard. If you just touch them, they fall over. This will help keep them steady. I'm gonna do a dry run. I'm gonna set the bowl, and I'm gonna set the tank, so I'll know where to drill the hole for the water service, since we don't have very much playroom here. So it looks like I can drill from my pecs pretty much anywhere in that corner because I got that little flex line. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to stick a piece of PEX, and I think we'll mount the toilet. We'll put the wax ring on it, bolt it down, put the back on it, and bolt it down. I think we'll be through up here once I get a hole in the floor. And I'll put like a 2-foot piece of PEX sticking down, and then I'll get underneath and deal with it from there. Toilet is installed. The wax ring was supposed to be at least 70 degrees before you installed it, and it's kind of chilly this morning. It's probably more like 50. So I held it in front of the generator exhaust for a while to try to warm it up, but I don't know if it's really totally soft, so this toilet might settle like 1/8 of an inch or so. as that wax ring squishes out. So, but that's okay. I'll keep it in mind. I'm ready to go underneath and hook up the water. Ooh, look how easy water is going to be. That's the drop from the toilet. That's the cold water to the faucet. So just have to whack that, put a T, cut this up a little higher and put a 90, and then we'll turn it on. All right, this is it. I'm gonna turn the water on. See what happens. Well, it sure don't look like they used to on the inside. I'll wait for it to fill up. Get the tank turned off. I don't know if I'm supposed to adjust anything or not. There's no water. There's no water in the bowl. Look at that. So now the tank's got to fill up again. We'll do it one more time. Ooh, my wife's gonna be loving on me. A screen porch and a functioning toilet, all in less than a 2-week span. Holy moly. How about that? Now that we're gonna have Stinky in the tank, I gotta finish the vent. I never ran it before. We just had water in here just for washing our hands. But we need a vent so that when the water goes in, the air can come out. But we want it to be up high so the Stinky will go away. So I'm using the fittings I got. I'm on a 90 over and 45 up and 45 up. Get it up above the roof a few inches. I think I have enough fittings for that. So we got this far, had all the fittings I needed, and now I have a long straight piece of pipe, but I'm gonna put some straps on here to hang this to get some of the weight, the whole weight up before I put the vertical on there. Okay, done. We have a commode, we have the drain is complete, we have the water's complete, and we have a vent complete. It's a sweet little morning effort. All right, this can be confusing. This is a 2-inch PVC Schedule 40 fitting. It's a glue fitting and it's meant to hold water pressure. This is a 2-inch PVC DWV, drain or waste vent. Fits the same pipe, it's the same size, but it's not meant to hold pressure. And you kind of tell the difference. One's a lot more robust than the other one. So these are much cheaper. These are not as likely to break. It's your call. I use both because many times the Home Depot doesn't have what you need in one or the other, so you got to swap back and forth. I guess the only thing I wouldn't recommend is using this for water pressure, but I don't do that because I'm not having anything 2-inch under water pressure. It's all drain. So, but when I'm going underground, I'm going to try to use these heavier fittings. Make sure I don't have a settlement problem and a broken pipe later on. One thing I didn't show last week is before I left home, I took some scrap, either treated or some good cypress, and I bored a bunch of holes because this is much easier to do on the drill press than it is out here with the jigsaw. So just now I find one that fits close and I'll just cut it to fit for the supports. That's how I did all the supports. So I dug this ditch with my little yellow mini hoe, that one, and I'm going to turn up here, and instead of using 245s, I didn't buy enough, I'm going to use a 90, but this is a Schedule 40 90. See, it's a sharp end, and this is a DWV 90, so it's got this nice sweep. I think it'll be all right. So I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to go down and go this way and get my measurement backwards. Let's see. Do I have a whole, I got a whole stick of pipe. We're gonna be all right. Okay, the last fill pipe is complete and it is glued and it is ready to be backfilled. It's gonna be really close on the elevation. I might have to cut this vertical 3 or 4 inches and do something different. But I can do all that after I backfill. And I didn't show last time, I was concerned about the tank overflowing. And I put that little weenie hole on this side. 1, it's not big enough, and 2, it'll direct the water where I don't want it. So I put 2 bulkhead fittings on this side. and put the water to where it needs to go, in the ditch. Now it's time to cut my last piece of gutter. It doesn't have to be very long. It's coming from here to get this water onto this roof to go into this gutter. So really it doesn't have to go all the way. It's a shame I didn't have any gutter left from the other day. I had to buy a stick. But get a measurement, cut it, plug both ends, put a downspout on that end, stick a little piece of PVC pipe so it won't be so noisy when it rains, and that'd be it. So I'm trying to address the splashing problem, and the splashing problem was that a large percentage of this water goes on the outside of this pipe because it kind of sucks around the edge and then just kind of blows. So I put some cloth, let it hang down an inch, clamped it with a stainless steel clamp. This is Sunbrella, it's an exterior cloth, but I can still get my funnel out for cleaning it. So I don't know, might work, might not. It didn't take me about 10 minutes to put this together. I had clamps in the cloth, so we'll see if this helps any. Okay, on the drinking water system, I think I have between 75 and 80 gallons in the black tank, which is not as much as you would think because it doesn't start, like the bottom 25 gallons are unused. Well, yeah, the bottom 25 gallons or so are just a big sediment trap. So, but I have a lot more than this little tank will hold, so I'm gonna undo the hose going to the cabin, and I'm gonna pump whatever water's left in there, it looks like maybe 10 gallons, into the big tank, and then I'm gonna transfer the pump to here and pull out the white tank, and yeah, we'll be hooked up to the black tank from now on, if all goes well.
So because I wasn't planning on putting gutters, I had the sheet metal roof overhang a good bit to protect the wood from water. But what happened was when it rained, the water shot all the way over this gutter, and I was catching very little. So I just got up there with the grinder and whacked this one off because it was pretty rough anyway. It's old metal. And I didn't actually see it, but the front was very similar. So I didn't want to cut it off because the front was a little nicer. So I put a piece of Z flashing. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, maybe you can see it there. I put a piece of Z flashing. I just stood it up on that corner. I put some the mastic that comes with the roofing metal under it, just kind of halfway seal it. Put a very few screws in it, and I think it's working fine. I haven't been here while it was raining to watch it, but my tank's full, so I'm assuming things are okay. But yeah, so that pretty much is it. When I put my hot water heater closet, I had to redo this pipe over here because it was hitting. Just cut it shorter and move it up. But everything's lovely, and right now, I'm pretty sure I have a full tank. So last week, Colin came with his 2 kids and spent Saturday night. David and his wife and their 2 kids spent Sunday night. And Debbie and I spent Monday night and Tuesday night. We still had more than a half a tank. So I guess we could run out if we a lot of people were here and we didn't have rain for a few weeks, but I think for the most part we're gonna be good. And I just noticed another dead pine tree. I'm gonna have to cut that one down before it falls. I've just disturbed the roots too much.
Now with our real commode, our real 120 volt electrical power, a real light fixture, a real medicine cabinet, although it's pretty small, we are looking more like a 5-star teeny house than a cabin. Alright, we're going to end it here. Thank you for watching.